So good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the third of our live streamed matches here at the 2025 Atlantic Senior Fours held at the Athena Beach Hotel in Paphos, Cyprus. This is the second time the competition has been held after the success of the inaugural event back in 2023. Today's two teams that we're going to be watching are the Gents match in Group 1 between Cyprus B and England A. And these two teams met back in 2023 with England winning 17-9. But brand new set of players coming out here to experience what it's like playing bowls internationally in Paphos. So joining me in the commentary box is former English international and team manager and super all-round score collector, John Bell. Hi, John.
All-round good time guy. Hello, world. Nice to be back in.
So, John, you've been out and about today collecting scores and watching the games. How has that experience been so far today?
Well, I think as we've noted here in commentary that all the rinks have got their individual characteristics, and it's taken some time for some of the teams to negotiate the variances, but overall I think there's been some good games. There's been some games which haven't been the best of quality, but there's certainly you can tell everybody's wanting to win, and they're wanting to do well in this tournament.
There is a mix of experiences here in the teams, from seasoned internationals who have got a lot of experience at World Championships, Commonwealth Games and international caps, and then those maybe club players who have been successful in winning their national titles but coming to play international bowls for the first time.
Yeah, and this is a superb opportunity for the lesser experienced players to benefit from this, because the better teams and players you play against, then it's the only way you will get better, and how you can improve your game. Yeah. So there's everything to play for.
Yeah, absolutely. And this year we have 20 nations participating with 220 players, and that's an increase from 2023 when we had 12 nations and 18 players. So quite a big uplift in the competition here in Paphos. So for those of you who might not be familiar with the tournament, it's a World Bowls endorsed event for players aged 55 and over. I think, in fact, it's the only tournament of its type in the world, and we are grateful for the support of Constantino Brothers, where we are based in the hotel, and of course Bowls Cyprus for making it happen. And these events only take place with huge support on volunteers, and particularly in the case of Bowls Cyprus, where I think 50% of the members are actually supporting or playing in this event. So thank you to all of those. We're just waiting for the klaxon to go off to sound the start of the game. We've had the trial ends. It's a 2.5 hour game, or 15 ends, whichever comes quickest. As you can see, dusk is starting to fall, so the floodlights are on. We are just a few minutes behind schedule. I'm not really sure what the reason is for that. Might be floodlights related, as we have had a little technical challenge with those recently. We will let you know as soon as we can. We'll try and find out exactly what the slight delay is, but bear with us on that. The two teams line up as follows. For Cyprus, we have Ian Bloomer as lead. We have Dale Hurd as second. That's a change to the lineup because Gary Marsh, who was due to play, is no longer available. Third is Robert Fletcher, and the skip is John McMillan. For England A, lead is Des Sharp. Second, Keith Wilson. Third, Martin Sampson, and the skip is David McCallum. Just so you can identify which bowls are which, Cyprus are wearing blue stickers, or having blue stickers on the balls, and England will be red. And those are matched by the scoreboards as well. So Cyprus have won the toss. They played the jack first, and we just have Ian with the first ball of this match. Part of the challenge, of course, of playing under the floodlights, which may well be new for most players, is just the shadows and the way in which the light falls across the green. So we'll see that unfolding over the game. We also have two other matches taking place, as you can see on the screen, on the adjacent rinks. We have Australia versus the 2023 champions, England, in the men's competition. And also on the right of your screen, we have Ireland playing Wales A. And Australia and Ireland are both new to this competition this year.
I watched Australia this morning play our England B, and they'll certainly be looking to go a long way in this tournament. They played very well, finished up with a draw.
They've brought a very strong contingent of players, both on the men and women's teams this year. So good to have them here with us. So we'll just shortly zoom in so we can have a closer look at that head, especially where it's in this sort of twilight dusk. It's going to test my eyes, John. I don't know about yours.
Yeah.
We should all get a pair of binoculars.
In Cumbria we've got eyes like bats.
Now that's what we should be wearing, those bright coloured Cypriot shirts. Oh, that was worth following. Good ball.
Well, it's been a much better start to the game than the one we watched yesterday on this ring.
Yes.
Yeah, very good effort.
So one shot to Cyprus so far. Currently holding that with that jack high ball. Another close effort from the Cypriot third, Robert Fletcher. We are streaming on live on YouTube, so if you want to make any comments, questions, tell us where you're from, who you're supporting, mention your local club, then please do so. Very happy to try and answer any questions you may have. Specifically, those are bowls related, but we'll have a go at anything.
That's what,
Cypriot thirds playing with bright orange balls, so you can spot those.
yeah, we saw that yesterday. If you just get a little bit wide on that backhand, it is reluctant to bend.
So have you adopted the new coloured balls, John, or are you stuck with traditional blacks and browns, or
I've stuck with my old black
have you?
balls. I'm one of the very few left playing with them, but I remember when I was sorting out balls for our team to go to, I think it was Australia, and Graham Shadwell, an excellent member of the England team, and I was asking him what colour of balls did he want to play with. He said, anything but old man's black.
Okay.
He got selected in spite of that.
Did he? Another good close effort from Cyprus. And do you still play with the same type of balls you had? Have you haven't changed them at all, or?
I've always played with, I think 99% of the time I've played with just Henselite.
Yeah.
I play with Henselite heavies now,
Okay.
but I went down a size.
Right.
I used to play when I won quite a lot, and I was playing with size 7s.
Holy moly.
Yeah, they
Good
used
Lord.
to call them the melons, and but the old melons cleaned up a few trophies. They don't make them anymore.
No, I'm sure they don't. No.
That's a great ball.
Very good. That's a great start by both teams, in fairness. We will obviously keep you up to date with the scores on those adjacent rigs that you can see, and the other games that are taking place around the rest of the greens. Just sliding past. There's 34 games being played every day in the competition, so a lot of balls. Okay, well, we're off and running. That's 1-2 Cyprus. First end goes to Cyprus. Cyprus 1, England 0.
Very good standard of play as well.
It
if that
was,
makes
wasn't it?
sense,
Yes,
for the
very
first
good.
end, very, very good.
Yeah. If I remember from last night's televised game on the floodlights, just like grass, as it got colder and a bit of dew came down, it got heavier. So the players had to adjust to that.
Hello.
Wow.
Somebody's not put another
Some-
shilling in.
That makes a difference.
Team manager bringing the sunglasses on.
Yeah, definitely noticeable shirts.
Give me time to get out.
One of the challenges we have when we're streaming from here is looking down to this head where players understandably want to stand enthusiastically, but it just means we get better shots of the backs of the head rather than the head itself. Especially when they're tall, like the English skipping third. So, marker indicates 2. 2 for Cyprus, currently stands. The English rink are all from Camberley Bowling Club in Surrey, and includes 2 of the players that won from the rink that won the English national fours, senior fours, back in 2023. They then went on to play in the British Isles the following year in 2024, just narrowly losing out to Ireland in the final.
Yes, all the players just struggling a bit with the backhand in this direction.
Yes. I think that side of the rink is a challenging one, you know. Does tend to swing a little bit more.
That's better. Great weight to give him the shot.
Yeah. Two consistent balls there. Ooh. That's going to make a change. Okay, so now down to just 1 shot for Cyprus at the moment. Good ball there from John. John McMillan is the Cypriot skip from the Aliathan club here in Paphos. He was the Cyprus team manager back in 2023 at this tournament. He's also represented Cyprus in the European Championships last year as well, so very experienced bowler.
still a good open draw on that backhand.
Yeah, good ball there. We believe that's going to be 1-2 England. That last ball coming in from David McCallum. We'll just confirm that. Yep. So 1-2 England, so it's one apiece after 2 ends. So a couple of questions coming in on the live stream. Thank you for that. Yes, we have just paid the electric bill. That's why it got bright all of a sudden. Hopefully it lasts for a couple of hours. And the adjacent rink is Australia versus England champions, and then England versus Wales on that. And also a message saying good luck to Zimbabwe and Spain. So Zimbabwe had the most colourful shirts here in 23, but I think Cypriot team has stolen that all in this year. And Spain is here for the first year.
Spain used to be quite competitive some years ago when I was in charge of the England team at the various events.
Right.
But they seem to have gone backwards a little bit. We don't hear so much about them now.
No, I've never, I must have never played there. Obviously, a lot of the clubs tend to be concentrated on that southeastern coast.
But there's some really nice little clubs. I think we had the European Championships there one year, and it was really well hosted by Spain. I had a chat with some of the Zimbabwean lads on the the opening reception night, and they were saying that bowls is picking up a bit in Zimbabwe now.
Yes,
They've got
indeed.
a lot
Yeah,
of
it was. Yeah,
new young bowlers, so
Yeah.
that's really encouraging.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's been driven by the bowlers themselves and the local clubs in doing some school outreach programs. But yeah, they were very enthusiastic about it when I was talking to them.
I'm just going to say they were playing a lot better in this direction, and then of course, commentators curse. We're travelling about a couple of yards out the way.
Yeah, good ball. Very good. So that looks like two shots to Cyprus. Good bowling by Dale. The second for Cyprus, who's just come in as a reserve, so settled in very well.
ball, but I think the players know that if they go too wide on the backhand, they're not coming back.
No,
And they're just maybe in the adjustment, they're actually just adjusting just a little too
a
much.
little bit too much.
And
Yeah.
that's finishing underneath. Understandable, but not what they would want. It proves a point. It just stuck out there a little bit there.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
And yet the other side of the rink is a very unforgiving swing, so a lot of the players have been preferring to stick with this side up and down. It's consistent. So Susie Cooper is obviously giving us some information online about the Spanish team, which we really appreciate. Yeah, the European Championships held at Emerald Isle in Costa Blanca, and 3 members of the Spanish team all at Greenlands, 1 from El Cid, another 4 from Almeria province. So we wish them well, and obviously the competition, men and ladies, this week, and then we have the mixed competition next week, including some mixed international teams as well, which just adds to the overall cooperation and of the event. So some countries who might not have been able to field lots of players are able to still make up the teams and play in the mixed competition.
I think the England team have seen an opportunity here that think that the ditch weight shot to remove those 2 shot balls would be the percentage shot, really. Well, not out there, but the idea was right. Compass wrong.
Okay, so Cyprus again come away with 2 shots there. Those are 2 Dale Hurd bowls. So Cyprus 3, England 1 after 3 ends. So we often ask how the teams get, or rinks get to be here, and there's a nomination or invitation process to the individual national authorities of each country, and who are allowed to enter 2 men's teams and 2 women's teams. In many cases, those teams are the winners of the relevant national fours competition. Certainly that happens in England and Wales and Scotland. But some countries don't have a national senior fours competition, and they have a selection process. So we have a mixture of both. It is entirely up to the national authority which process they go through. In the USA, for example, they don't have a national fours, so there's a selection process. Same for Australia and Canada, I believe. Do you have any views on that, John? Do you think it's a selection process or a national title winners, or it's not really a big issue?
I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's noticeable that, for instance, South Africa and Australia are very professional about the way they would go about it. They've picked sort of state champions, national championship winners, and it's a very, very, you know, it's an excellent choice of teams. But whereas the teams that have got here by winning the actual competition, I mean, they're guaranteed compatibility. You know, they play with each other. So,
Yeah.
I mean, whereas the players that coming from South Africa and Australia, for instance, were selected. I mean, they've got to gel together, but obviously they are good enough players to do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So,
And of course, our defending champions, men's champions from 2023, are the English rink that won the English championships. And winning a national title in England is a big thing because of the number of games you've got to win.
and then that emphasises the point really, because the England team they played together and won the national title, and yet South Africa were all individuals selected from because of what they'd won and the representation, and yet they were beaten. Only just, I may add.
Yeah, it was a very close game. I think in that match, South Africa were ahead for quite a lot part of the match until the last couple of ends.
Well, to be fair, I mean, and to their credit, I mean, the South African men's team that dominated the event, they were excellent.
They were really,
excellent.
really good. So what we've seen here is that the jack has been cast for the second time, and it looks as if there's a challenge on the length. And it's strange, but we saw that 3 times yesterday, consecutively 3 times the jack was cast short. And in that case, just as Luke's having now, is the jack will get put on the tee at the end of the rink, and then the players for the mat can then be moved to whatever position you want to do that. Don't ordinarily see it a lot, but it's interesting, we've seen it quite a bit here. And there we go, we got another measure and another short jack on the Wales Ireland match next door. It may also be a factor of the green becoming slightly heavier.
The light's gone out again. The light's gone out again. One was brighter before, wasn't it?
So our picture here seems to have gone a little bit darker, so whether it's the same for you at home, but we're just going to check that. Maybe that 50 pence didn't go as far as we thought it would do.
Right?
England holding one shot there.
like the shot.
It does, yeah. Good ball there from Keith Wilson. Keith also has experience of playing in Australia. He played in Adelaide and has also won the Tony Alcock Trophy in 2019, which is, you'll know what this is, John, was a national mixed double rigs competition.
Yeah, introduced comparatively recently, but very popular.
Is Tony Alcock still playing bowls? I mean, I don't
No,
know. No.
no.
Just gave up completely, or?
Once Tony finished his international playing career, he didn't play. He didn't play at all. Only in the odd sort of celebration game or
Right,
something. Yeah, absolutely fantastic player.
Yes, indeed. And he done his bit, wanted to do something different.
Yeah, well, he was chairman of the Kennel Club as well. He's got these very, very valuable dogs. Little ones.
Right. I didn't know that. You learned something new. There you go. And was he recently one of the inductees into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
he certainly deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had the pleasure of playing with him when we won the gold medal in the Fours in Aberdeen in torrential rain.
Right.
Yeah, very good.
Another one of those players that was inducted, apart from Rob Whale, of course, was Peter Bellis, and fantastic player to watch back back in the early 80s.
Yeah, well, he did the same World Championships in Aberdeen. Peter won the singles.
Yeah,
Beat the great Willie Wood.
that's right. Very dramatic
in a
finish.
measure. Yeah, in a measure.
So England certainly appear to be getting the better of this end. Yeah, they're holding 3. 3 red lollipops going up there, just see in the corner of that screen.
Looks to be a good line in now in this direction on the forehand. And I think it's still available there for the Cyprus team. It was only inches from being perfect line there.
It was a close effort.
No, well bowled. Perfect.
Very good, very good. One of the few balls we've seen on that hand. Played it very, very well. You'll have also seen as we zoomed out some of the scores on the adjacent rinks. I think Australia are 3-1 up against the English champions from 23, and Ireland and Wales just 2-1 to Ireland. So only a few ends played. So no doubt they will change as the match goes on.
Difficult choice now for Cyprus. There's no obvious drawing shot available. I think he's got to opt for coming with a 2 or 3 yards away underneath that blue ball for the jack, or resting the red ball out.
Ooh.
Well, it was the right shot, and almost successful. Well, a similar draw required. They had a really good ball last time with a really wide draw.
Yeah, if he could do the same again, that will turn to a very good end for England. Yeah, another good effort. Good. 6, no 5. 5. Very good end for England. Yeah, they played that in very well. 2 good balls there by David McCallum.
The joys of the drawing ball.
Yeah. Okay, so after 4 ends, it's 6 to England in the red and 3 to Cyprus in the blue. And that's not obviously the colour of the shirts, the colour on the scoreboards and on the ball stickers. So the Irish have sent a very strong team. You probably know quite a few of those English players, Rob Horner and Gary McCloy.
Yes, indeed.
They've been around the international circuit.
Played against them quite a lot in the 80s. Played Gary in the final of the European singles, as a matter of fact, and he was a lot younger, a really, up and coming, talented youngster from Ireland.
I got a lot of experience for them.
Modesty prevents me from telling you who won, but we mustn't mention ourselves.
Who won, John? Then, can you remember?
Yes, I can.
But it might have been you.
Yes, he was a sort of a very decent sort of chap. We mustn't start talking about ourselves. We'll finish up like the BBC commentary, so stop it.
Well, I haven't won anything, so it's not a challenge for me, to be honest. Another measure of the jacket on the rink next door. Keep these NTOs and ITOs busy.
There is a good line down this backhand in this direction, as long as you don't get too wide. But yes, comes back really well.
Does, yeah. good ball there. 2 for Cyprus. Bowl shirts are something that changed as well. They've got brighter and colourful and more exotic over the years.
Oh, I think it's improved the game a lot because, I mean, clubs are now wanting to be really smart, and you get a smart kit and it attracts the new members and they feel really proud of the club, so it's really working well for the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
The days of the white shirts and grey trousers have gone.
One thing that is very noticeable is these rinks seem quite narrow, so you do tend to get a lot of the players, maybe walking around. So they are a bit like some indoor rinks that are more narrow than, say, outdoor.
Great line, just overshot.
Good effort.
He certainly gets a great bend out of those balls.
Isn't it just? Yeah.
It's very difficult now with all the different varieties of balls with the tighter lines and the mediums and whatever, just to tell you how the rink is really performing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. There's now no longer one standard way of playing a rink.
Well, the way the rink's playing, there's a draw available on both hands, as far as I can see. Just weight required.
And some good effort. Jack high ball.
Good enough to count.
Yep. 3 to Cyprus. So they'll be pleased with that after dropping the 5 in the previous end. So After 5 ends, third of the way through the game, it's now 6-all. We will get you some updated scores from across the rest of the games, the rest of the rinks that have been played. So just get those organised.
Gents. Oh, yep. Yeah, great recovery there for
Yeah, good.
Cyprus.
Yeah, very good adjustment. So on the Australia-England rink just to the left, as you look at it, it's Australia 4, England 5. That's going to be a close competitive match, I think. Yeah, good adjustment as well from England. The four of them seem to be suffering a little bit this end, John. It's not
No.
as close as it has been.
Well, the forehand seems to be closed out, so
Yeah.
the,
Does.
if you wanted to add another shot, you've got to play the backhand round that front row. And what do we know about it?
Very good. So England currently holding 4 shots after that ball. And an update on the score on the Ireland-Wales match is 2-all after 4 ends.
And Cyprus now in a bit of trouble here. It's a difficult draw. They might hope to come up through the. I was going to say come up on the backhand, right through it for Jack a ball, but he opted for a draw down that forehand, and I'm afraid that wasn't the best of choices.
No,
I don't think.
it's blocked off, isn't it?
Mind you, as we say, it's quite easy sitting up here.
That's really easy. So Martin Sampson, who's playing third there, is in his part-time is an actor in murder mystery weekends.
Mm.
That's unusual, isn't it? Not my thing, but you know, okay. Very, very popular.
Well, that's a great effort to cut the count down.
It is, yeah. Might be second or third shot, maybe. Let's see if we got a bit of lollipop action going on over there. No, we just can't see our marker. He obviously played that shot. Yeah.
Might be looking at the heavier ball this time.
Okay, apologies, folks. We just couldn't see what happened. It
That wasn't the wrong bias, was
must
it?
have been wrong bias or something. Yeah. Another close effort there by David. He's drawing very well on this backhand.
Yes, he likes that side. Well, I think that finished up half and half. You know, it was. I think he was thinking about playing with weight and then changed his mind to a draw, and that's inevitably what happens. It's you get a bit of both from nowhere.
Ooh. Perfect line. So three to England, Fred. So that makes the score now 6 to Cyprus and 9 to England. They've picked up 8 shots in the last 2 of the last 3 ends. We have a lot of games where you see just 1 shot, 2 shots, but here we're having 5s and 3s, and so maybe that's a factor of the conditions of this green.
I think this are being more aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking as though you're consistently getting shots against you, you know, you can do a lot better by saying, well, attack the head.
Yeah, and see what difference that makes.
And it disrupts the opposition because they know if they're putting them close and you getting a result out of it, then it boosts your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean that's the message is don't be frightened to be aggressive.
So we just lost our volume there for a few seconds. Just back in time to see another jack, probably being below minimum distance. We are working on getting those updated scores to you, but we've had to, in other part of the complex, some of the rinks have had to move onto our green at the top end we don't normally use this time of night. So it might just be a little bit of a delay in getting scores while those games are moved on. Not sure what the exact reason is, but we have been having some lighting challenges, so it may be linked to that, but bear with us. So it looked like initially there was going to be another challenge to the length of this jack, but it seems to be okay. Who would be a lead? Hey John, trying to throw that white thing.
And you're quite exposed at lead as well, everybody
You are.
notices and, you know. It's a very important position.
Yeah, very much so.
If you get a good lead, it's invaluable because from the very first two balls, it puts pressure on the opposition.
Yeah, definitely. So did you play a particular position in your career? Was it skip, or did you just, as you moved through the ranks, play at all the positions?
Skip for most of it.
Most of it.
Yeah, but I had the when I played for England, I had the benefit of I would arguably the best lead in the world, John Ottaway from Norfolk. Absolutely brilliant he was. He was annoyed with himself if he didn't get within a foot every time, and largely he did. Good effort again in this direction.
It is, yeah. Certainly got his two balls closer than the English lead. Okay, well, I got a result for him. I was saying earlier on in one of the commentaries that in addition to myself and John sitting here, that we have a team, there's 5 of us all together, looking after the IT and the camera and the systems. And Jim and Chris are from Bowls, Cyprus, so getting naturally excited when they see their colleagues getting close to the jack. Yeah. So if you hear the odd yippee and clap in the background, that's what it is. Just as I was doing for Wales earlier on.
The Cypriot ladies played really well this afternoon. They beat Scotland.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, they did really well. Just out of your picture, the right-hand side, you see Clive Williams there from Beaufort in Wales, and Clive is one of the winners of the Welsh National Fours a couple of years ago. He's playing third today, but played against him back in the summer. He was playing lead, and he was, sounds like John Ottaway, he was on the jack, 2 balls every single end. It was absolutely fantastic. And I was saying that was absolutely brilliant, because when I've been playing this rink for 40 years, so I should know what I'm doing.
And times have changed, because nobody seems to want to play lead now. I mean, everyone wants to be a hero at the back.
Yeah. That's one shot to England. You see from the colour of the paddle. That jack high ball.
Next door on the England, the 23 Champions rink, you've got Brett Hartley as well. He never played anywhere else but lead, dedicated to lead. Excellent.
He is
player.
superb. Oh, really, really impressive. Yeah. And qualified again for Potters, who were for the 11th time. It's just outstanding.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was going to keep hold of it. Ooh, that worked out well. John just getting caught in the traffic there with that ball. So two red, 2 to England. So they just extend their lead. So it's now 11 to England, 6 to Cyprus. England red colours, red on the scoreboard. Cyprus blue stickers, blue on the scoreboard. And I've got to keep mentioning who's which colours, because my wife has said that because she doesn't know the team, she's relying on the colours. So this is purely for my wife's benefit, nobody else.
Important in this one for both teams. England looking to extend the lead and just sort of see off the challenge, if
Yep.
you like, whereas Cyprus will be aware that they don't want to be getting any further, behind. So crucial end.
Yeah, so halfway through the match almost. Des Sharp, the lead for England, he's only been playing for 4 years, so still relatively inexperienced, but it's all about the ability.
Well, it's a simple game. You know what you've got to do. I mean, it's just doing it. But if you've got a natural affinity to the game,
Yeah.
and I mean, a lot of sportsmen who have played ball games and hand and eye coordination, there's a good chance that they will be good at the game. But I think traditionally, I mean, when sportsmen have sort of finished their active careers in football and hockey and rugby, they've tended to go to golf,
Golf, yes.
whereas they could still get a really competitive game, and bowls clubs now have a very good social life,
Yes.
so that will be a better match for them, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my club in South Wales, Dennis Powys, just outside Cardiff, the rugby club is just opposite us, and we've had quite a few of the rugby players who are no longer able to play coming along to play bowls because they still want that competitive aspect of it.
I wouldn't have thought you would have wanted to mention Welsh rugby at the moment.
Well, I don't know. It was a pretty close match at the weekend. They got 0, which was good.
I think that was. I mean, that's the last game they wanted, wasn't it, against South Africa? I mean, it was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, I'm sure they'll bounce back. Might take a while. But
Well, when you've lost 20 matches out of the last 22, it's a long road back, Yeah, it's unfortunate for a country with such a great rugby heritage.
it's hard to bear for your supporters. Been absolutely fantastic over the years.
And it's such a it's a fantastic stadium there, and it's had some great days out there. We were talking about Spain in Spanish bowls earlier on. Of course, Spain, like Cyprus, relies on a lot of expats. And I think in the Cyprus team here today, of the 4 guys playing, 2 are Scottish and 2 are English, and you tend to find that quite a bit.
I used to joke with them at the international events and call them England B.
And I'm sure they loved that.
They did. Every time they got a shot, they shouted "Ole!" It was marvellous.
Still opportunities to draw a closer shot here. Looks like England holding certainly 1 or 2.
They've been slightly more consistent, really, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Good effort.
Could have made it.
Tio's having a look. Okay, 2 to Cyprus.
He might be looking at his faithful black hand. He's been playing that hand very well. I think he could just slip inside that short ball. Certainly slipped inside it with that.
Okay, so we just had a little slight issue with our sound there. Whilst we were off, obviously Cyprus had picked up 2 shots in that last end, so it's now 11-8 to Cyprus, sorry, 11-8 to England after 8 ends. Just an update on some of the scores that we promised from around the rest of the matches. We have Isle of Man 5, Zimbabwe 5. Canada are 5-3 up on Guernsey. Canada A are 5-all with England B. USA are 8 up in their game, and Jersey A are 10-3 up against Spain. Just looking at the 2 matches adjacent to us, Ireland are 2-7 down to Wales A. So the Welsh guys putting in a great performance. Even though I'm from Belfast and I should be supporting Northern Ireland, my allegiance is towards Wales when it comes to anything Bulls related, so I'm supporting the men in red. And obviously on the other rink, Australia and England is currently 5-all. Just to let you know that some of the, because we had some floodlight issues, not affecting this game but other games, some of the matches have had to be moved, so some of the updates in the scores might be a little bit later coming through than we would like to, so apologies for that.
Would you consider yourself the Gaelic fringe?
The Gaelic fringe, yes.
Yes.
I'm definitely in that. I'm a bit of a gypsy.
Yeah.
Well, I left Belfast back in 1987. I've been away for 38 years, and I married a Welsh girl, so I live in Barry, in Cardiff.
Oh, only the centre of Wales.
Centre of Wales, absolutely. But I also spent 15 years living in Leicester and around the Midlands, so I've been a little bit everywhere. But Wales is home. So that's the advantage. I can say I support Irish rugby, not Welsh rugby, you see.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's how it works to your advantage.
There was some good home internationals this year again, wasn't it?
It was,
Yeah,
it was
very
indeed.
good.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable.
Now then, back to England, they would be disappointed with that last end, certainly. They didn't perform well enough against the Cypriots there.
Well, England has started to build a little bit of momentum in the previous couple of ends, and that's now just slipped away from them, I suppose. But, you know, it's only, it's over halfway through the game.
Not the best of heads again.
No. So, Martin Sampson, England third with his delivery.
Excellent line in. That's better.
Very good. Nicely paced ball there.
Too wide, once again, fell into the trap there. Just a foot or so off the line and you're never getting back down that side.
So, two red to England.
Well, it looks easy for a draw, but it obviously isn't when you look at that head.
Another couple of feet and that would have done for him. But, might be close enough to still make a difference. Oh, it is. It's a measure now. So,
From my experience on doing a little bit of television, I always think that the vertical ball on television is always nearer than the horizontal.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if that's the case. Oh, through it.
Well, you won't get a chance to prove that theory now.
Dear me. That was a good ball.
It was a good ball, yeah.
Made it a lot safer.
And made that from a measure into two definites for red.
See, I was talking about aggression before, controlled aggression. And that's a very hard shot just coming around there. Well, the way that hand's playing, very difficult to draw around to that jack there. and whereas you're two down, and if he goes for the ditch weight, I don't think he can be any worse off. He's got a good back ball. We'll see what happens. See,
A little bit too cautious.
still cautious. I rest my case. Just a yard, big yard.
Yeah.
He was on his way again down that big hand.
So 2 balls out for England so far. And a measure. See with John McMillan's bowl, that purpley bowl being the closest Cypriot bowl. The knee pad, very important.
Very important job.
Okay, so just 2. 2 to England. So 9 ends. It's now 13-8 to England. England red, Cyprus blue. Do you ever do any umpiring courses or anything like that, John, or get involved in that side of the game?
No, well, I used to play a lot of rugby in my heyday.
Oh, okay.
The older I've got, if I'd have got down to measure like that, I couldn't get up again. So, no, umpire was a no-no.
And that's one area of the game where measuring, technology has never really stepped in. You have, like lasers and all of that, but it's still bits of string and a measure and all of that.
Well, there was a laser measure brought out, but it was the old-fashioned attitude where nobody trusted it, and it was spot on. But the people wanted to just use the string.
String,
and they
yeah.
could see what
you
it
can
was.
see it. Yeah, you can touch it, feel it. Good start. And what about formats of games, like playing, 3-ball triples and shorter formats? You fan of all of that? Or you're a traditionalist?
I'm not a fan of continually tinkering with the sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think there's an argument for sometimes reducing the number of ends. But I mean, for instance, in some of these top competitions, when you're playing 2-ball triples certainly 3-ball pairs is it undermines the game, I think, to be honest. But so there's a big argument about with the sets against
Yes.
the normal format.
Yes. Yeah.
But See, from a player's point of view, you want to get your best chance with the more balls you play with and the more ends you play, then you've got a better chance of becoming a winner.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've got the better chances. Whereas the shorter the game, the less chance you've got. But I understand when you're looking at television point of view and attracting and promoting the sport,
Yeah.
then there's more exciting finishes when you got sets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I understand why they do it, but I think if you asked a lot of players, they would prefer the old format, whereas they've got more opportunity to play.
To play and ship the game, yeah.
I hope that made sense. I don't know whether
No,
it did.
it is, the set format, I think, can be very brutal if you have a bad couple of ends and, next minute you're out, whereas...
See, somebody said to me, and they're quite right, they said, you should never play a game where you get more, you win more shots and they lose a game.
Yeah.
And
Which is what happens.
And that's what
When you go to those tie breaks.
you could win win one set hugely, and then it's so. I understand that.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive, isn't it? So very, very strong end here for Cyprus, holding four shots. England just seem to have some of those back balls just slipping through by a couple of yards.
It's got a difficult draw to save. I mean, it is possible that if he plays the forehand down, just slipping inside or outside that ball on the top left. But he's got to be very accurate. Whereas again, the percentage shot, you might want to go down the middle and at least you might get a connection. It won't get any connection
like
there.
like that, but not like that. I'm sure you never played any shots like that, John, did you?
I would think so. Not that I would admit to, but I think I would.
So what would you think the Cypriots will do now? Just covering ball or pile another one in?
I would be tempted to just try and draw again. I mean, as long as he doesn't widen the head. But ideally, exactly, if he's opted for a back ball safety first, well, yeah, that's a pretty good choice. But these surfaces are not easy to fire on.
No,
so
no, they're not at all. No. They look more interested.
Oh, he's unlucky.
More of it, yeah.
But unlucky doesn't save you any shots.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, there's still 3 or 4 down.
The old stalwarts of the game would tell you that you should, if you're lying like 3 there and you've got an opportunity to add another, that's the time to strike, because if you add those up over a game, it said the other day that unfortunately it's you know the pressure's off when you know you're lying shot, so your concentration may slightly go, but it is important if you can. It's a free shot.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
is. Yeah, indeed. But I think when you draw, when in that situation and you draw another one, it's a psychological boost to your team as well,
That's right.
and not to the opposition. You know, it just
It's more pressure on the
course
opposition
it is,
again. You know.
after this end, we'll also try and find a little update on those two adjacent matches.
We don't know what difference that last ball did make.
No,
Has he cut anything down or not? Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good ball there by John. Yeah, just adding to the count, adding to the pressure. We just can get our NTO into shot. We can just get confirmation as and when he's ready what the shots are like.
Same dilemma, a draw or drive, I think. Well, in between he...
So 9-8 to Australia, I think, and 8-6 to Wales on the other. So close games, very close games. As is this one. You know, it's only a few shots. So let's see what the outcome of this is then.
Two,
So 2 out so far.
three.
3. Four. And a little bit of dancing around. And an umpire. It's 4 and a measure.
Game on again.
Yeah, isn't it indeed? Yeah, that's probably exactly what Cyprus wanted. Just to, so it'll take us to 10 ends played, 5 still to play, and maybe all square or just one in it. So that would seem to imply that we've lost our floodlights. Now, if that was one of the England team did that, obviously that'd be a good.
Yes, indeed.
What a good tactic.
Yes, indeed. Kick a couple of woods in while nobody's looking.
Yeah, I'm sure that wood wasn't that close. Oh no, it definitely was. Okay. So I wonder we're still on the audio. We will try and get some either lights, torches, and see what we can do. Just bear with us, and we'll clarify whether we're going to be able to put the lights back on again, or whether this game is not going to continue, and what the rules are, because I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
We're
Well, we know it's going to be 12 anyway, at least, to Cyprus, to descend, and a measure to come, I think, isn't it?
so this is the measure fixture for the either the 5th or. Okay, confident shout of 4 there. Four. Okay, so at least
Game
we
on
were back.
again.
We were back in time to see that. So 4 to Cyprus. 10 ends played. 13 and 12 to England. So this is going to make it a very interesting game. So the challenge for Cyprus is to continue that momentum. England obviously want to stop and rebuild after that last end. A little bit unlucky there that he didn't stick to that jack.
Good response by England, though,
Yeah.
after that mini disaster. Hands on head tells its
Yeah.
own story.
Yeah,
Very
Des wasn't
poor.
happy with that.
Very poor ball. Yeah, time for Cyprus to keep the momentum going now, isn't it, really? I mean, just bounce back with a good head, 4 shots.
Okay, Del playing his ball. Looked to be quite tight from the moment it left his hand,
It
actually.
did indeed.
So, but England are holding one.
That's okay.
the score on the Ireland Wales match? 8-7. You got to get 7 to Ireland. No, 8-7 to Wales. So 3 very, very close games, which is what we want to see. And that looks like 10-8 to Australia as well on the other match.
Well, it's a poor end when both teams really wanted to pick up the momentum again, but I think England still hold the shot. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's been what, four consecutive bowls that are all been drifted over to that right hand side.
It's still the same shot, I think, available, the backhand draw.
Yeah.
It's open for the jack.
So that could be the shot, and it is. Yeah. Cyprus holding one now.
Great effort. Will he get back? No, on the outside again.
Oh, another good ball there.
Skip to the rescue.
So David, the English skip, is playing with classic twos.
Yeah, good choice.
Oh, great effort.
Yeah, classic twos are quite an old ball.
They
now.
are, yes, yeah.
But a good holding ball, you know, you get a bend, but it also, it doesn't dip away too fast. Yeah, good choice for these carpets, I would think.
So that's 1 to Cyprus. So we are 13 all after 11 ends.
All to play for.
That isn't it just, yeah, yeah. 4 ends to go. And I think that probably explains why David was drawing really well on the backhand. He was getting some good draws earlier on in the match with his balls.
But he wouldn't get the savage bend, he would just get enough to hold him round and still get a nice bend, but it wouldn't go away too quickly.
Are we going to have it? Oh, length's okay. We haven't had a measure for a few ends, so.
looks a good line, doesn't it? Very good.
Yeah, good start. Very good start.
So we've had some poor heads coming this way.
Yeah.
And when you look at that ball coming down, it doesn't seem to be much wrong with the hands.
No. I mean, weight's not bad at all on that one. Yeah, another good ball.
It's a great time to dominate the head like Cyprus have here.
It's a nice white jacket, isn't it? We're getting a lovely view of.
Still Cyprus holding the shot anyway.
No, we're going to have a
Maybe
indication.
two.
Wow, one on a measure. I don't know who the NTO's name is, but he's doing a great job down there today for us, being really proactive. It's very helpful.
Jeez. No. Yep, sneaked in.
Yeah, another one for Cyprus.
Well, I think he's got a choice of two hands, both open.
okay in that bowl, but just missed the line slightly.
Never looked like getting back on that side.
Still to the blue, to the Cyprus.
Chance for Cyprus to put the pressure on, draw another one, preferably just in front of the jack.
Very good line.
Well, he nearly did it, but
Yeah, he did,
that's
yeah.
a good ball because it sort of, didn't make
Yeah.
the
It's going to be right in
head
their eye.
doesn't-
Yep.
The head doesn't look just quite as attractive as it did before.
And it's made it in 3. Cyprus now holding 3.
Choice of hands for England. I don't think it can. Well, these balls will bend.
They should come back, shouldn't they? Indeed. What a great
That's
oh,
a
what a
cracker.
ball!
Absolute
A
cracking ball.
superb ball. Very good.
Best of the night.
Yeah, it was a pressure ball, key part of the game. Played it perfectly. He's played that backhand really, really well.
Well, they're looking to take that shot ball away.
So can David do it again? Excellent ball. So 1 to England, 1 to red. So the score is now 13 to Cyprus, 14 to England. That was an important end. Very good balls. So we've 3 ends left to play. Time-wise, we were due to be finished at 7:15. But which is 25 minutes away, but we started slightly late because we had that, I think, slight delay because of the floodlights elsewhere, but they still have 3 ends to play in 25, 30 minutes, so it might be tight. 10 minutes an end, something like that, John?
Under normal circumstances, you would think they should play them 3 ends, surely, but
But a game this tight, you know, they're going to be very considered in what they're doing. I imagine with a number of the games having to be moved rigs that there are going to have to be some calls made on time dispensations.
right, the ideal time for Leeds to shine.
well on cue. Very good. Okay, so we have an update on some scores. So Isle of Man and Zimbabwe, it's 13-9 to Zimbabwe. Canada are leading Guernsey 11-6. Canada A are got a 2-point advantage over England B. USA are 12 points up in their game. Jersey A are 7 up in their game against Spain. And Australia on the games we're watching, or the adjacent games, Australia have got a 2-point lead over England, 2023 champions. It's one shot, 14-13 on the game we're watching. And in the adjacent game, Ireland and Wales, which is really, really close, Wales are 2 shots up. Those games are about 2 ends behind where we're watching, so they're on sort of 10 and 11 ends. So it's probably going to be a pretty tight finish for all of them.
And Des, the England lead has risen to the occasion.
He has.
2 great balls.
2 great balls by Des Sharp. Sharp by name and sharp in practice. That's a much better head already, isn't it? Wow, a great ball. Goodness me, Clive, you're almost standing over in this rink. Okay, great ball by the Welsh lead there. Just shows the challenges of playing on these rinks. Those 2 blue balls on the adjacent rink, those are by Rob Horner, who's a top quality player, and clearly just having a struggle.
I think the last Cyprus ball and he was close as well. What's happened to that?
Almost went sideways.
There's been very few balls played on the forehand in this direction. And I mean, from Cyprus's point of view, I think they're holding one, possibly two. You'd be wanting to play in there and just make it a little bit more difficult. By so another ball in the head would be ideal. We'll see. I mean,
That's whether he was trying to play a particular shot or. I mean, that's. Probably right on the line. David's been drawn very well all game. See what he can do.
he was on a good line again. He did another yard on that. He was right into those balls.
Yeah. That thing just sort of slightly go out.
Well, that looks like a good line. Well, we've seen them hold down there before, but slipped away. No, he was unlucky. What did the inside of that ball?
So one red, one to England.
Every shot's a good one when they're closing in on the finish.
So we got 2 ends to go, and England with a 2-shot lead, which isn't huge, but you know it's important. I'd rather be 2 up than 2 down. But again, those bowls just shows how difficult this rink can be. We saw that in last night's match as well, particularly on this backhand side going up on the left hand side of the ring. So 2 ends to go. Time-wise, I think 15 minutes, so probably be able to get the last end underway in time. It looks like, from what we understand from around the rest of the games taking place on other rinks, that they are going to run much later, probably quite a few ends behind.
That's not a bad
Up to
start, eh?
5 ends behind. Which means, John, you'll be able to get served at the bar quicker tonight.
Oh, thank you. That's gone in the ditch with the
Gonna-
ball. That's a killer.
Yeah. It's going to
At this
just that.
stage of the game.
Absolutely. Is that a wrong bias?
Well, not the best of times.
Yeah,
to be
I know,
throwing wrong
it's not.
biases.
Oh,
Oh, here we are. We found it.
so definitely one shot to England.
But that's not the best of balls at this time.
No, it's not. So that's looks like it's 3 shots to England at the moment. So not the best timing for Cyprus to have a bit of a down.
A blip.
Looks like England have picked up, Ireland picked up a couple of shots on the adjacent rink, now leading by 2 shots, 11-9.
Interesting. They're leaving the open backhand alone, aren't they? Both sides.
Yeah, apart from the English skip, nobody seems to really want to play that
No.
side of the rink. Wow, very good ball.
We think so.
Okay. Something happened. I don't know what, but something. No, he's cut
got
the shot. Well
Yeah.
done. Very good. Great ball.
Not the best of times for everybody to be standing in front of it, is it? Really? Oh,
So Cyprus holding one. That orange ball. Orange balls and yellow shirts.
well. Forehand again. He's not getting back from there. They try.
Yeah. Just want to be inside those balls on the top left.
It doesn't look the easiest way in now when you look at the angles of those balls, how they're
No,
configured
it's
there.
definitely right on the line for that hand.
Nowhere near it.
No. unusual. He's been generally there or thereabouts with his
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play that other side of the rink, so they're almost ignoring the open side. Right, so it looks as if it's going to be 1-2 Cyprus. Yep. So we're set up for a really exciting finish. So 15-14 to England, 15 red and 14 the blues. Last end coming up.
And England will have the last ball of the last end, which could be crucial.
So unless we've taken a whole pile of shots off Cyprus, I'm not sure 15-1 is probably going to... Yeah, 14 required in the last end. There we go. I'm sure nobody noticed.
If they didn't, they didn't know.
Well, Des played two crackers down here the last end.
Yeah, he did indeed. Oh, just missed the line a little bit.
Yeah, just making sure he was up though.
Yeah.
You can't blame him for that.
Yeah, no, indeed. So Brett's thrown the jack on the other rink, so obviously England must have won the previous end, so I imagine that again going to be pretty close as well.
Two good balls from Ian. Just what was wanted on the
Yeah,
the last end.
indeed. He's watching it intently.
He just wants that little bit of hold, and he's getting it.
Isn't he just? Yes, it is indeed.
That's a good ball. Well, the line wouldn't have been too bad if he hadn't had as much weight on. But obviously they're all conscious that they don't want to be short on this,
No.
the last end, everything to play for.
So we just see the scoreboard there on the England-Australia game, 13-13-13, so very close. And on the Northern Ireland or Ireland-Wales match is just one shot advantage to Ireland.
Oh dear.
Didn't get much turn out of that.
Well, advantage Cyprus, I think would be
Yeah, I
fair to say with that. aggressive. Now is the time.
Yeah.
You know, get your third to go at it, and however it finishes up, you've got the skip to retrieve. Now, how brave is he? Oh dear. See, the nice weight on there is not the shot.
No.
If you're going to go for it, go for it. Because you wouldn't deviate much at all if you went straight for the
Yeah.
for the head. You wouldn't deviate at that speed. I think Cyprus need a cover ball now, don't they? They want it further than that. They want a back one, don't they, really? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just jack high, that one
it's
is.
only a matter of time, I think.
So we're going to get a lollipop update. Looks like blue's the colour coming out.
Don't see any way.
Wow. 4, 5.
Back cover, surely.
Oh, he's got a cracking ball. Very good.
Even better if it was an actual toucher. Because I think
Yeah.
David has no choice now.
He's got to play with
He's got
this.
to play. He's got to play ditch weight. And Cyprus, I don't think, still haven't got a good back ball. That's the shot. There you go.
Go. The ditch is gone. England bull there. Back bull's A, John.
Absolutely. That was going to be the shot, and the cover it was desperately needed. That could have won England the game. Great shot.
Get some glue. So it's definitely one. Might be. Well, there's I can see a few red stickers there. We just want our NTO to hold up a paddle.
Was that blue ball, was it a toucher in the end then, or was it,
No, I don't think so, no.
so has it been lifted
So
out?
it's
is
just a
it?
jack in the ditch, isn't it?
I think so.
Judging by that. these front ones, but not about giving second shot, but it's not enough, is it? One red,
That's it.
and that's it. Can't be beaten. Well done to England. That was a fantastic ball there from David McCallum, who'd been drawing exceptionally well all game, and then wins it with a drive.
That's right.
You know, so
Played two balls which won the match. One earlier when he saved
That-
about four, and then that
Yeah,
shot at the end. That was
absolutely.
crying out for a hit.
that was really good. So well deserved England. 16-14, very tight game.
Good game.
Under probably challenging circumstances with the floodlights on occasions. Thank you very much for joining us, for sticking with us, for your comments. We really appreciate it. That's the end of our live coverage for today. Thank you to all the team for the support. Thank you, John, for your comments there.
Pleasure.
And thank you all to Constantino Brothers and to Bold Cyprus for their great support during this competition. We will see you all tomorrow morning. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good night.